The Union Internationale de Pentathlon Moderne, commonly known by the acronym UIPM, is the international governing body of modern pentathlon. Its headquarters are in Monte-Carlo, Monaco. Modern pentathlon was introduced at the 5th Olympiad in Stockholm 1912, comprising the contemporary sports of pistol shooting, fencing, swimming, horse riding and running, which embraced the spirit of its ancient counterpart history. The Greek Olympic Games pentathlon. The pentathlon was introduced for the first time at the 18th Olympiad in 708 BC and held a position of unique importance in the Games. It was considered to be the climax, with the winner ranked as Victor Ludorum. Admiration for the ancient pentathlon was fully shared by the founder of the modern Olympics, Baron Pierre de Coubertin, and from 1909 he tried to have the event reintroduced into the Olympic program. Pentathlon's moment came 2 years later at the 14th session of the International Olympic Committee in Budapest when, as the Baron stated, "The Holy Ghost of sport illuminated my colleagues and they accepted a competition to which I attach great importance, the modern pentathlon." Modern pentathlon was introduced at the 5th Olympiad in Stockholm 1912, comprising the contemporary sports of pistol shooting, fencing, swimming, horse riding and running, which embraced the spirit of its ancient counterpart. It was de Coubertin's belief that it would be this event, above all others, that tested a man's moral qualities as much as his physical resources and skills, producing thereby the ideal, complete athlete. Quote, "This new sport was enthusiastically adopted with its inherent demands of courage, coordination, physical fitness, self-discipline and flexibility in ever-changing circumstances." A young American lieutenant, later to be the famous World War II General George S. Patton, was to finish 5th in the first ever Olympic modern pentathlon competition. The mixture of physical and mental skills demanded in the pentathlon has also meant that athletes have been able to compete in as many as 3 or 4 Olympic Games. This is because while running and swimming times can be expected to decline with age, experience and skill in the technical disciplines often increase. The oldest Olympic gold medalist in the modern pentathlon to date is Pavel Lednev, who was 37 years old at the 1980 Games in Moscow. In the same Olympic Games, the individual gold medalist Anatoly Starostin was 20-year-old. Today, a points system for each event is based on a standard performance earning 1,000 points. The start of the last event is by handicap start. In this way, the winner of the competition is the first athlete to cross the finishing line. Administration of modern pentathlon. Modern pentathlon was administrated directly by the IOC until 1948, when the International Modern Pentathlon Union was founded by Gustaf Diersen from Sweden as the first president and Sven Thorfell, Secretary General, and later to be president for 28 years. In 1960, biathlon was introduced in the Olympic program. Biathlon had joined the Union in 1953, and the organization thereafter became the Union Internationale de Pentathlon Moderne Biathlon. In 1993, an agreement was made to retain as an umbrella body under which the UIPM and the International Biathlon Union could act autonomously. The UIPM, however, continued to be the only international multi-sport organization recognized by the IOC. Until 1998, the president of modern pentathlon acted as president of the Union during the 2 years prior to the Summer Olympic Games, and the president of the biathlon acted as such for 2 years prior to each of the Winter Games. Having matured into an organization capable of continuing on its own, the IBU decided on the 26th of June 1998 to exist autonomously. The separation from the UIPM took effect on the 20th of August 1998, creating two distinct international federations, the UIPM and IBU, both of which are recognized by the IOC and GAISF. At this moment there are over 100 national modern pentathlon federations affiliated with UIPM. Sports development. Modern biathlon, designed as a sport for all, biathlon has been practiced for over 50 years. Through biathlon, the UIPM has established a competition composed of the two fundamental components of modern pentathlon and most practiced sports in the world: run and swim. The biathlon has universal appeal. It is inexpensive to organize, simple to understand, can be viewed from a single location, and organized practically anywhere in the world at any time of the year. The biathlon competition begins with a pack start of runners who complete one half of the total running distance before entering a 50-meter transition area. Athletes then dive into the water and swim the required swimming distance before exiting the water, putting on their shoes and running the second leg of the run to the finish line. The first person to cross the finish line wins. The race distances vary with the age groups concerned. The first biathlon World Championships took place in Monaco in 1999, and the Biathlon World Tour started in 2002 to include up to 6 competitions in various locations throughout the year. Medals are awarded to the top 3 athletes in each age group in both the World Championships and the World Tour. World School Biathlon. In 2005, UIPM launched a new competition linked to the success of biathlon. The event consists of the swimming and running disciplines. The swimming discipline is conducted in a 25 meters or 50 meters pool, and the running discipline is conducted preferably on a standardized track. The swimming discipline is conducted first and the running discipline is mass start. The final result is the sum of the swimming and running points. The originality of the World School Biathlon is that schools will take part of this international competition by entering the results in a global database using the UIPM website directly from the location. Therefore, this competition does not require any funding for transportation or lodging. All can be made at home by the registered physical education teacher or coach. Modern triathlon. UIPM has been officially approved in November 2012 as a sport for all event, and in combination with biathlon it is an integral part of the UIPM development plan. Through triathlon, also known as modern triathlon, the UIPM has established a platform to enhance the young generation to practice modern pentathlon, starting from the basic disciplines of running and swimming and also progressing into shooting to slowly become fully pentathletes. Adding competition composed of the 2 or in this case 3 fundamental components of modern pentathlon, it is key for sport development. The modern triathlon is also very easy to organize, and the modern beach triathlon as performed in Cyprus 2013 World Championships has been able to showcase how athletes of all ages can perform in a competition that has its own core also within the shooting part that is delivered with low-cost equipment at no extra cost for the athletes competing. The modern triathlon is the innovation for the future of our sport because it included progressively new skills, and it can be easily seen as an inexpensive alternative for many countries, and it is sport for all because can also be seen as a discipline to be integrated within the Paralympic movement as well. Modern triathlon begins normally with a pack start of runners for the first 25 mt, and athletes will compete in one series of 5 shots each that will define the athlete's runners up to the next leg before approaching the transition area and get into the swim before finish running the last leg. towards the finish line. As usual, the first person crossing the finish line will be declared the winner. The race distances vary with the age groups concerned. The first Triathlete World Championships took place in Cyprus in 2013, and the Modern Triathlete World Tour will also make its new debut in 2014 as well. It has been declared sport discipline for the next editions of the Asian Youth and Asian Beach Games as well. The 5 events. Fencing. Fencing is a series of one-touch bouts with the acute PE swords. The fencing event of modern pentathlon is a round-robin tournament, with a single touch deciding each match. The fencing event is held usually in an indoor arena on special strips measuring 14 meters long and between 1.5 meters and 2 meters wide. Each competitor has a bout against every other competitor. Bouts last for 1 minute, the winner being the first fencer to score a hit. If neither scores a hit, both competitors register a defeat. A double hit doesn't count. Point penalties are awarded for a variety of infringements, including hitting the acute PE on anything other than the opponent to register to a hit. Crossing the boundary line with both feet to avoid a hit. Dangerous play, and when a fencer turns the back on the opponent. 70% bouts won correspond to 1,000 pentathlon points. Each win is called a victory and each loss a defeat. Each victory over or under the 70% mark is worth a specific point value, and this number is in accordance with the number of competitors. 22-23 bouts gives plus or minus 40 points. 24-26 bouts gives plus or minus 36 points. 27-29 bouts gives plus or minus 32 points. 30-33 bouts gives plus or minus 28 points. 34-39 bouts gives plus or minus 24 points. Example: 36 competitions means 35 bouts. 70% of 35 bouts equals 25 victories equals 1,000 points. 23 victories are therefore worth 952 pentathlon points. Swimming. Pentathletes usually have a swimming background, which is considered to be the only pentathlon discipline that cannot be taught at a higher level at an older age. For this reason, good swimming standards are considered to be a precondition for participation in modern pentathlon. The swimming event is a freestyle race over 200 meters for men and women, with athletes seeded in heats according to their personal best time. A time of 2:30 earns 1,000 pentathlon points. Every 0.33 seconds is worth plus or minus 4 points, and thus the value of each swimming second is worth 12 points. Example: the time 2 minutes 32 seconds and 66 milliseconds minutes corresponds to 968 points. 40-point penalties are incurred for a false start, failing to touch the wall at the end of a lap, or leaving the pool in an incorrect manner as stipulated in the rules. Equestrian. The riding event included in the modern pentathlon competition involves jumping over obstacles of up to 120 centimeters in height. The obstacle course is between 350 to 450 meters in length and includes 12 obstacles with 1 double and 1 triple for 15 jumps. Athletes compete on horses provided by the organizers, which are selected from a random draw. For warm-up and preparation purposes, athletes are allowed to ride their allocated horse for 20 minutes and to have up to 5 trial jumps in the warm-up arena provided. Pentathletes are given 20 minutes to inspect the course at any time during the competition program according to the organizer's schedule. The athlete has a specific time limit in which to complete the course, and the time limit is set according to its length. A clear round in time allowed gives the rider 1,200 pentathlon points. For each mistake the rider loses points. Examples of penalties given are 20 points for knockdown and 40 points for every refusal or disobedience. But any disobedience leading to the knocking down of an obstacle gives 60 points deduction. After 2 refusals to jump, the rider must try to jump the next obstacle. A fall of the rider from the horse, or if they both fall, is a 60-point penalty. After 2 falls, the riding will be terminated. In case of riding terminations, for every obstacle not jumped, the rider loses 100 points. The most common cases of riding terminations are wrong course, second fall, exceeding the time limit that is double of the time allowed, and retiring from the competition. Each second over the time limit means a deduction of 4 points. The maximum time is the double of the standard time. If the rider is slower than the time allowed, the riding is terminated. Riders must jump the obstacles in order. Riders must wear protective headgear and a riding jacket, and can use a whip and spurs. Horses' hoods and blinkers are prohibited. Combined event. In 2008, the UIPM Congress passed a motion to change the competition format of the modern pentathlon to combine the shoot and run disciplines. This is now known as the combined event and is the final event of the day's competition. In the individual competition for men and women at senior, junior and youth A levels, athletes start with a handicap start, approximately 25 meters run, to a shooting range where they are required to hit 5 targets before beginning an 800-meter run. This is repeated 3 further times for a total of 20 targets and 3,200 meters run. 2,000 pentathlon points are awarded for a time of 12.30 minutes. Each second faster or slower than the prescribed time is worth plus or minus 4 points. The combined event is also included in relay competitions in teams of 2 or 3 pentathletes. However, the format differs slightly in that only 2 series of the course are repeated: 800 meters run, 5 targets down, 800 meters run, for each of the pentathletes. For team of 3 athletes, 2,000 points are awarded for a time 25.00 minutes. Each second faster or slower than the prescribed time is worth plus or minus 4 points. A team of 2 athletes, 2,000 points are awarded for a time 17.00 minutes. Each second faster or slower than the prescribed time is worth plus or minus 4 points. Within the combined event, the shooting takes place with a completely safe and environmentally friendly laser pistol, fired at a target from a distance of 10 meters. The shooting competition is in 4 series. Each series consists of hitting 5 targets with an unlimited number of shots in a maximum time of 50 inches. For youth, on a target of dimension 59.5 millimeters. If after 50 inches one or more targets have not been hit, the pentathlete can start on the running leg without being penalized. Only after having hit 5 targets using an unlimited number of shots in the time limit of 50 inches can the pentathlete start from the shooting station to perform the first running leg of 800 meters. After the first leg, the pentathletes return to the shooting stations, where they must reset the target, and then start the second shooting series that consists of hitting 5 targets using an unlimited number of shots but in the time limit of 50. The pentathlete repeats the same procedure for the second shooting series and second running leg of 800 meters. After the 4th shooting series, the pentathletes perform the 4th and final running leg of 800 meters to the finish line. The combined event uses electronic targets which consist of 1 black single aim and 5 green, red lamps indicators. National Federation's list of presidents: Tor Wirbom, Gustav Diersin, Sven Thorfeld, Igor Novikov, Klaus Schurman. Modern pentathlon competitions. Olympics Games. From 1912 to 1980, the Olympic modern pentathlon competition was held over 5 days with one event per day. Between 1984 and 1992, the competition was held over 4 days with either running and shooting or swimming and shooting on the same day. For the Atlanta Olympic Games in 1996, the competition was a one-day event in which 32 men who qualified via pre-Olympic competitions participated. In 1998, the UIPM received approval for women to compete in the Sydney 2000 Olympics Games, and so 24 men and 24 women competed in individual competition, and, for the first time in history, the pentathlon venues were 96% sold out. UIPM subsequently received an increase in the quota, and in Athens 2004, 32 men and 32 women competed, and both competitions were 100% sold out. Following this success, UIPM received in February 2006 a further increase in quota from the IOC Executive Board. In Beijing 2008 Olympic Games, 36 men and 36 women took part in the Olympic modern pentathlon event. The same quota has also been confirmed for the 2012 London Olympic Games. World Championships. World Championships take place annually for senior, junior and youth men and women, which include individual, team and relay events. Youth World Championships differ slightly in that they do not include riding. Athletes qualify for the final via qualification groups of up to 36 athletes per group. So, in the case of 3 groups, the top 12 placed athletes qualify. The athletes then compete in the final, one day later, which is therefore composed of the best 36 competitors from these qualifiers. Individual medals and prize money are awarded, as well as team medals, which are decided by adding the 3 individual team members' scores together. For the relay event, this consists of 16 teams of 3 athletes competing in a continuous relay completed in one day. Each team member swims 100 meters, fences one opposing team member, rides a horse over 9x show jumps, and completes the competition with the combined event that consists on 2 series of shooting and 2 by 1 kilometer running. In this way, the relay competition is an exciting spectacle requiring contribution from each team member in every event. Also a mixed relay with 2 competitors, 1 man 1 woman, included from 2009 on the official World Championships program. World Cup Series. A World Cup Series for both men and women has been organized since 1990. Each year between 4 and 6 World Cup competitions and a World Cup final are organized, and the whole package is called the World Cup Series. The best 36 athletes qualify for the World Cup final via a league table constructed from the 3 best results at World Cup competitions. The very best 36 athletes are guaranteed to compete in the finals. Prize money is also available. European Championships. Athletes. C category. Modern pentathletes by nationality. Olympic pentathletes. C category.